Located in the theater district of downtown Louisville, Kentucky, sat what came to be known as the first movie house in the state, aptly named the Kentucky Theater. In October of 1921, the Kentucky Theater opened its doors to casual moviegoers and film fanatics alike. For 60-some years, they served Jefferson County and the eastern region with a steady stream of customers and profit. However, it took the theater an absurd 34 years to showcase a major motion picture, both set and produced within Kentucky. The state's moment came with the release of United Artists' Western adventure, The Kentuckian, in 1955. The year before, Burt Lancaster demanded studio execs that it be shot on location, and so it was in Owensboro and the surrounding cities. Locals welcomed the production, even going as far as to be extras in the film. Today, one can visit Cumberland Falls and Corbin and seek out exact filming locations. With the success of The Kentuckian, studios began to start seeing the state as a contender for picturesque views at a low cost. One of the most notable examples was Some Came Running in 1958. The film starred Frank Sinatra and was produced by MGM. Despite a majority of the scenes being shot in Madison, Indiana, a good amount was filmed across the Ohio River and into neighboring Middleton, Kentucky. The opening scene follows Sinatra's character along US 421. The 60s brought great publicity to the Bluegrass State, primarily with two major releases. How the West Was Won had scenes shot in and around Paducah. This scene here was filmed roughly 10 miles out of Paducah in Smithland. Nearly 150 miles away was Fort Knox, where action scenes were filmed for the third installment in the James Bond series, Goldfinger. For security reasons, production wasn't allowed to occur inside the building, but exterior shots are completely authentic. The 70s was a rather low point in the state's film industry, as few films were shot there due to studio losses and big-budget box office failures. Still, noteworthy films such as 1978's Child of Glass marked a turning point. The ghostly children's film was distributed by Walt Disney Pictures and was mostly filmed in Danville. Director Jim Lawrence could not find a suitable mausoleum inside the gate of Bellevue Cemetery. For that reason, one was constructed and became a tourist attraction thereafter. To kick off the new decade, Coal Miner's Daughter was filmed in the city of Jenkins, Van Leer, and Whitesburg. The film served as a biopic for Loretta Lynn, who was a Van Leer native. Her home, Butcher Hollow, has become a successful bed and breakfast since being featured in the film. 8 years later, the northern part of the state got its time to shine with the critically acclaimed film Rain Man. While a majority of the film was produced in Cincinnati, Ohio, a few locations were in Kentucky. This included Evergreen Cemetery in Southgate, Pompilios in Newport, and the CVG Airport. The restaurant was said to have experienced a boom in customer sales and have even proudly mentioned the film on its website. Rain Man went on to win the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1989, contributing to Pompilios' success. The 1990s ran off of Rain Man's high, with multiple motion pictures being filmed across the state. Most notably was Fire Down Below in 1997. This action film was set in Appalachia, with scenes being filmed at locations like Natural State Resort Park and areas surrounding the city of Mount Vernon. In 2005, Elizabethtown was true to its name, with a majority of the love story being filmed in the state. City officials welcomed the production with open arms and even hosted a picnic for them in Freeman Lake Park. Nearly a decade after Elizabethtown was released, a romance drama starring Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara came to northern Kentucky. Despite also shooting in Cincinnati, the Inquirer reported that certain scenes were shot in surrounding cities such as Alexandria for their resemblance to New York and other settings. Like Carol, Bones and All shot in Maysville, Kentucky due to its proximity to Cincinnati and Aberdeen, Ohio. Released in 2022, the film starring Timothée Chalamet created tons of buzz for the region. In an interview with Kentucky Living, Kristen Schlattman, the executive director at Film Cincinnati, stated, "The Venice International Film Festival accepts 20 films in competition each year, and in 2022, 3 of those films were from our region." Statewide, Kentucky has been a prominent film location for 76 films over the past 70 or so years, and will continue to do so with welcoming communities, increasingly promising tax incentives, and versatility in settings. While Kentucky may not be regarded as a dominating force when compared to states such as Ohio and Georgia, these states seem to be on a growing path towards greatness.